Greetings. Is everybody ready? Do we need anybody to take some more time? Okay. Greetings to you all. My name is Yusuf Taylor, the spokesperson for Team Gumsabopa, part of the Joint Civil Society Working Group, which we have a statement to issue today. But before we start that, we will start in prayers in our own way. 1 minute of prayer for a successful press conference today. Thank you very much. Amen. May all our prayers be answered, and may we have a country that we will all be proud of. And that's the reason why we are having this press conference. As civil society organizations and groups, I'll first introduce from my right to the left, other civil society organizations with me on the table. We have Fanta, who is with NYP. Fanta is with NYP. We have Lamin Diba, who is with the Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency. I got it correct this time? Yeah. Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency. They do budget work also. And my colleague from the Activista, Ansumana. Thank you so much also for joining us. Activista is here. We also have WAVE, Women's Association for Victim and Women Empowerment, right? Yes, the name is slightly changing a little bit, but WAVE. It's not WAVE money for people who may be wondering and watching, right? We have my dear sister, Mariama, with us also. So we are just going to start off. We want to, before we start, to thank the media, because without you people coming, we sent this press invitation just yesterday. And within less than 24 hours, the media is here, and we are very grateful for that. So I will hand over to my colleague, who will read out the statement, and then we will start. Over to Lamin Diba, who will read out our joint statement in English.
Thank you, media. You were on time. Thank you very much for that. And here it begins. Joint Civil Society Statement on the illegal removal of the Auditor General, an attack on democracy and the rule of law in the Gambia. On September 15th, as the world commemorated the International Day of Democracy, we are reminded that democratic governance is not a privilege, but a fundamental right. The only path to freedom, justice, and dignity. On that day, the government assaulted constitutionalism and democracy in the Gambia. The Gambia's democracy is young and fragile. For over 2 decades, Gambians lived under the grip of dictatorship. In 2016, it was the courage of ordinary citizens, women and men, young and old, that lawfully brought an end to the dark era. Some paid the ultimate price for this freedom. We honor and remember our fallen heroes and heroines whose sacrifice secured our right to live in dignity and liberty. Yet, less than a decade later, the very foundations of this hard-won democracy are under direct attack. The bitter irony of history is that the individual who benefited most from the people's rejection of dictatorship, President Adama Barrow, is now dismantling the very democratic order that elevated him to power. In blatant violation of the Constitution and the National Audit Office Act, the President has unlawfully and forcefully removed the Auditor General, the head of one of the Gambia's most vital independent accountability institutions. This illegal act represents not only a direct assault on democracy and the rule of law, but also an attack on the sovereignty of the Gambian people. Worse still, the president has turned the police into instruments of repression, weaponizing them to intimidate citizens who exercise their constitutional rights to free expression and peaceful assembly. This is not a mistake. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a deliberate and calculated assault on accountability, transparency, and democratic governance. Why this removal is illegal? The legal conditions governing the removal of the Auditor General are clear and unambiguous. Under the 1997 Constitution and the NAO Act of 2015, valid grounds for removal as enshrined in the NAO Act of 2015 are as follows. Number 1, completion of a fixed tenure of 9 years. Number 2, voluntary resignation. Number 3, attaining the mandatory retirement age. Number 4, proven cases of incapacity, misconduct, or incompetence as determined by either a medical board or a tribunal established by the president. None of these legal conditions has been met. Instead, the president has chosen to act outside the law, as though the Gambia were his private estate. This is nothing short of a constitutional coup, where the executive hijacks independent institutions and subverts democratic checks and balances. Why this matters to every Gambian? If this unlawful action is allowed to stand, no institution or official will be safe. Not today. Today it is the Auditor General. Tomorrow it could be the Ombudsman, the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, the Chief Justice, the Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, or the Speaker of the National Assembly. When independent oversight bodies are undermined, corruption flourishes, human rights protections erode, and the nation slides back into autocracy. Our demands for the protection of democracy and the rule of law, we make the following urgent demands. Number 1, immediate reinstatement. The Auditor General must be reinstated without delay to complete the lawful 9-year tenure. Number 2, lawful process for removal. Should the President seek removal, it must be done strictly according to the Constitution and NAO Act by convening a medical board or a tribunal as required by law. Number 3, end intimidation and harassment. The Gambia Police Force must cease all unlawful actions against the Auditor General and any other citizen exercising their constitutional rights. Their duty is to protect the Republic, not serve as enforcers of illegal executive orders. Our commitment to defend democracy. We will not relent. We will not allow the sacrifices of April 10th, 11th students, Dada Haidara, Solo Sanding, and countless other fallen heroes and heroines to be in vain. We will not surrender our hard-won freedoms to creeping autocracy. We will resist using every lawful and peaceful means until the Auditor General is reinstated, due process is respected, and the laws of the Gambia prevail over the whims of individuals. On this International Day of Democracy, September 15th, let it be known, democracy is not a gift from leaders to the people. It is the birthright of the people, defended by their courage and secured by their laws. The Gambian people will defend democracy for the Gambia, our homeland. This is a joint statement by Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency, the National Youth Parliament, Activista de Gambia, Team Gomsa Bopa, Solo Sandeng Foundation, Women's Association for Women and Victims Empowerment, Beikanyang, Fantanka, Movement for Social Justice, Think Young Women, Music for Change, and Charter 70. Thank you very much.